Italian port workers refuse arms shipment to Israel.
Here's a summary of the article.
After being informed of the ship's destination and contents, workers decided to block it in a show of solidarity with the Palestinian people. A syndicate of port workers in the Italian city of Livorno in Tuscany on Friday protested a weapons and explosives shipment after discovering it was destined for the Israeli port of Ashdod. The port of Livorno will not be an accomplice in the massacre of the Palestinian people, said l'Unione Sindacale di Base. The NGO urged the Italian government to consider whether it was suspending some or all Italian military exports to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict areas. The union on Saturday will also be in the square in Livorno in solidarity with the Palestinian population and to ask for an immediate stop to the bombings on Gaza and a stop to the expropriations Palestinian homes that have lived under military occupation for years, the USB said in a statement. Although the shipment eventually embarked its journey to Naples, as most other port workers continued to load the ship, other Italian workers' groups have called for increased coordination between port workers to prevent shipment of weapons that could be used to bomb Gaza. Protests took place in various Italian cities this week, following Israeli forces' attacks against Palestinians in Jerusalem and its escalation on the blockaded Palestinian Gaza Strip.
This post received a score of 100,000, with an upvote ratio of 69%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Another headline for this article could be, "Some workers refused to load ship, others did instead."
Port shifts the refusing workers to the thousands of other things that need to be loaded that aren't arms going to Israel. Rest of the workers that had no problem with it continue shipping arms to Israel. Work continues otherwise as usual.
It isn't a big victory, but I'd bet the dispatch at the ILWU hall was rightfully pissed. It's not easy to unexpectedly send longshoremen to another ship. You've already assigned jobs and anyone who didn't get one went home already. You can try to call them in, but they already started drinking, and good luck getting a full crew without pulling from your other ships.
This guy longshores.
You sure?
Oh, for sure.
They're serious, but don't call them surely.
Is there a country that does not sell arms to Israel? Palestine, I would imagine. Edit. To everyone replying that Palestine is not a country. A. This was very clearly meant as a joke, and B. Why does it matter?
They are sending them to Israel for free. Israel has just been a little reluctant on those deliveries.
They are sending over used goods, when Israel was wanting new.
Bullet speed same-day delivery, sponsored by DHL. More balls than most governments out there.
The ship embarked on its journey following a delay because most other workers loaded the ship, according to the article.
The more often it happens, the more it will grow as a movement. People are reluctant to change, but they adapt slowly over time. Today maybe 5 refused but 10 carried on. Tomorrow it might be 6 and 9. It depends if it gathers momentum.
Yeah, in real life, if you work in a port and pull off that shit too frequently, eventually people would ship less from your port. Most likely port management will just fire your ass as a warning to any others and be done with it. Ports are used every day to ship arms and other shit to and from every dictatorship and regime in the world. Once you allow political protests to start among your workers, it has no end.
I don't know how it is in Italy, but here the dockers union is more leverage than the port authority.
I would imagine something like this is so much more powerful if your country has limited geographical locations it could operate a port. Do this in the US and any number of locations could be used, even the military bases if needed. Private organizations aren't going to shut those down.
This was done in the USA against South African apartheid. Dock workers refused to offload ships from South Africa.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.